Hello once again, audience. We're on the safari truck now. Here it is. Right here in Six Flags, New Jersey. Great Adventures Wild Safari. Sorry. That's what it looked like. South Sea, the Animal Kingdom.
Put my arm like this, okay?
Okay. It has like I can see me
clear.
back there. Here we go. Here we go.
Welcome aboard to your tour here at the Six Flags Safari. My name is Cyrus. I'm going to be your tour guide for today. Our driver's name is John. Everyone say hi to John. Thank you guys. We have 3 rules to cover before we get into the safari. Rule number 1, New Jersey is a no-touch state. That means if you reach any part of your body out of this truck to touch any of the animals we see today, the government will come and find you. You will owe anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000, unless that's the kind of cash that you carry around with you. Anyone? Alright, keep your hands inside the truck. Rule number 2, food and water. Feel free to drink any liquid you have brought with you. However, any food, candy, or gum needs to stay inside of a sealed container. If you're chewing it, that's fine. Just don't spit it out at the animals. It's going to be a long 45 minutes. Rule number 3, the seat that you are sitting in will be your seat for the entire duration of the ride. Do not get up and unbuckle your seatbelt at any point until we get all the way back to the station. Is that clear? Alright, sounds good. Thank you guys. Here on our left, we have our Roosevelt elk. Right here, we have one of our males who seems to have gotten some vines stuck in his antlers, and he's taken an opportunity to just eat all the leaves off of that vine. Right now, our males are going through a shedding season. Right over here, towards the left in the front, we have one of our males. You can see that he has some brown on his antlers. They also have the white antler color showing through on the inside. That brown coloration is actually a layer of skin. That skin is called velvet.
It's a real deer.
That velvet allows these antlers to grow over the course of their lifespan. Antlers will stay on their head, growing between the spring all the way until the beginning of the winter, where they will fall off.
Thought the ground.
Right now, they're rubbing off all that skin because they don't need it anymore. Their antlers are done growing, so whatever point they got to, that's going to be it for the year. Come 2-3 weeks from now, they're going to be ready for their breeding season. They're going to be using those antlers to fight all the other males. And then, come winter, they'll be naked. Those antlers are going to pop right off, and then they'll look all like our ladies for a couple of months before they start the whole process over to grow a giant rack of antlers again by this time next year. Over here on our left and coming up on our right, we have our rhea. Rhea are a flightless native to South America. These guys, the males have the color of black feathers around their neck. These are the first flightless bird that we're going to see here. We have 3 different species here at the safari. They're our gateway bird because the ostrich is huge. They can basically see into the truck, so if we started with that, it'd be very scary. So these guys are a little bit easier.
There's some back there.
Itchy. These males have black collar feathers around their neck. And these guys have a bit of an interesting family system. All rat types do. Rat type is the family.
I saw Rio's post one of them.
During the early spring, specifically the Rhea, a male will build a nest and invite the ladies that live within his territory to investigate it. And if they are satisfied with the nest that he has built, they will sit down and lay a couple of eggs and be on their way. After that, their destination is going to be Cancun, Jamaica, somewhere nice and warm, presumably, because they're on vacation. The job is done. Incubating the eggs will be entirely up to the male. They're going to sit on those eggs for about a month and a half. And then after those eggs have hatched, it'll be the sole responsibility of the male to make sure that those chicks get big enough to take care of themselves.
There's another deer back there.
If you guys have any questions at any point during the tour, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to answer them.
Oh, that's one big lake.
I'm going to shout a little bit because I can't hear you at any point in the truck unless you are in the first 2 rows. But as we continue on, each of the sections we're going to be driving through is specifically designed to mimic the environment of the animals and wherever they are native to. So here we're going through the North American plains. These are the most number of trees that we're going to see that are out, kind of spread out. The vast majority of our trees are kept in smaller fenced off areas because that's what it's like in their natural environment. In Africa,
I'm not dropping it, I'm careful.
Mostly open areas with not a lot of trees spread out. right, we have one of our boys rubbing his antlers. They spend a lot of time doing that. They got a real strong neck. They got to hold up those huge antlers. They can be almost 4 feet wide. And we also have the North American bison. Yep, they're sleeping. Their tails are flicking, so they're alive. Our bison and most of our large herbivores are constantly being bothered by flies. You have a question? I was going to get to that. A male bison has a more triangularly shaped head. They have a wide forehead, and they have darker fur around their head. There's one male that's on our side, closer to the truck. He's standing next to the other one. That's one of the males. You can see the fur around his head is much darker. They all have horns, so that's not a great way to tell. Really, one of the big differences is size. An adult male bison can get up to 6 feet tall at the shoulder. They're going to be a lot bigger than all of the ladies. They're also going to weigh well over 2,000 pounds. These animals are huge. These are one of the largest animals in the North Americas. And keep an eye out for the little orange guys. Those chicken nuggets are babies. Those babies are going to keep that orange color for about a year before they start turning a darker brown, a little toasted, turning that dark brown just like mom and dad. We also have one of our llama hanging out by this structure. When they're sitting like this, I call them the llama pillar. They look like a big old caterpillar. Llama have been living alongside humans for hundreds of years, but they have never been domesticated.
Okay, there's more deer.
They have never been domesticated because they have a very bad attitude. Here on our left, we also have our female herd of fallow deer. She's like the third deer, farthest to the left, third deer from the front. There's one that has no brown on her. She just has the one white base coat. She's got none of the brown that make those spots. She's one really big spot. She is all white because she is leucistic. Being leucistic means that she cannot produce the pigment called melanin. Melanin is the pigment in our skin that makes that brown color, which is why she's all white. But she still can produce other pigments, so her eyes are blue. Typically, when we think of an albino or a white animal, we think of albino animals. An albino animal cannot produce any pigment, so their eyes are actually pink because that's the color of blood vessels in their eyes. But even if we had an albino animal here at the safari, they wouldn't be allowed outside all the time because albino animals are extremely sensitive to the sunlight. They can get sunburned basically all over their bodies, including on their eyes, which is a fairly horrible thing to think about. I don't want to get sunburned on my eyes.
Snakes on my list.
Right. As we continue on, we're also going to get a peek of some of our #1 visitors. Oh, we just passed them because they were all in the pond. Never mind, I'll talk about them later. We have some more of our Rio.
I see them there.
These are largely juvenile males, it
ostriches.
looks like. We have a couple of females. There's one male in the middle. In the wild, Rio live in what are called harems. A male will protect an area, and all of the females that live inside of it will either choose to continue living with that male, or if they don't like it, they'll leave to find a different territory for them to live in.
Almost close to
If you are living with a male's territory, you are expected that they will go and form his nest. Some of the years that they're there.
Okay,
But
folks,
as we
these are
continue on, we're going to be stepping
llamas,
out of the Americas
deer,
straight
elk,
into
bison.
Africa is a really incredible continent. I've been lucky enough to go there myself. I highly encourage you to go there.
Here we
I studied
go.
abroad there, so I got a really wonderful time. Yep, the first animal that we usually see in this section is that zebra. It's the same one every single day. There's one of our female zebra. She wants nothing to do with any of the other zebra here. All of the other zebra on the opposite side. They're in a big herd, all standing together. She likes to stand over here by herself. I don't know why. I don't understand. But if she was in the wild, these would not be very great survival instincts because she would definitely be the first zebra eaten.
The elephants.
The patterns on each zebra are unique to every
Look at him
individual.
there he is.
Zebra are also closely related to horses and donkeys, though they are more closely related to donkeys than they are horses. She's round, but she doesn't look pregnant. Even if she was pregnant, she'd still be with the other herd. She's just weird. But over here on our left, we're going to get a view of our African elephants. African elephants are a mega herbivore. There are only 3 species that are mega herbivore left on Earth: the elephants, the hippopotamus and the rhinoceros. These ladies are originally from the park. They came here in the 1970s. They are each over the age of 50. If you look at the bottom of her trunk, she's got two little points. Those little points are lips. She can use those lips as fingers to close around whatever she wants to grab. You're able to use that trunk essentially as a can. And it is just like if your nose was really, really long. But not just the point of the whole thing, because their nostrils are at the very bottom of their trunk. So whenever they close them, they can't breathe through their nose. They also use that trunk to drink water. They'll suck water into their trunk and then squirt it into their mouth. That trunk is still a highly sensitive organ. They can smell water up to 5 miles away, even underground. African elephants are a keystone species, meaning without them, their environment would be totally different. If the African elephant were to completely disappear, the African savanna, as we know it, would cease to exist and return to being a largely forested area. African elephants eat so much foliage that most of the very young trees that are growing will get eaten by elephants during various periods of time. And the larger trees are all going to get destroyed by the bull elephants, the adult males. They'll be rubbing up against those trees with their tusks, as well as just their entire body. Elephants are big, they need a lot of space. Here we have our zebra. These guys are really beautiful, they have that pattern. Do we think zebra are black with white stripes or white with black stripes?
Become a buffalo's dad.
How do you know?
The Asian water buffalo.
50-50. I don't know. We also have some of our water buffalo.
Look at the horns in
Well,
my
if
head.
you're looking at a zebra, look at their nose and around their hooves. Those are the two places where you can more easily see the skin of a zebra.
Yo,
Their nose has that black color on it, so that tells us that they are black skinned with white patterns on top of that skin.
Okay, so a water buffalo.
In this section, we also have a couple of ostriches, but I'm not really going to talk about them here. I'm going to talk about them in my next section. The zebra pattern is unique to every individual and serves two major purposes. There are probably other intended purposes that science has not figured out, but these are the two that we have. One is protection from predators. When predators are hunting in the savannah, they're typically looking for an individual they can separate from the herd. And having all of the zebra look more or less exactly the same, it makes it very hard to pick out any individual zebra from the herd.
That is one thing. Where are the
rhinos?
rhinos?
Built-in bug spray, which I really wish I had. Those black and white colors are high contrast, and when bugs are looking for something to land on, stinging and biting insects largely see shades of gray. So when they're looking for an animal to land on, they're looking for a big gray spot that's kind of slowly moving. So those water buffalo look like a really nice gray spot, but these zebra with all those stripes are less identifiable as an animal to land on. That's really helpful for a lot of different reasons. It's just less irritating because you don't have bugs biting you all the time, but flies are also a major disease distributor. So zebra are less disease-ridden than a lot of the other animals in the savannah. But we're going to be entering the plains. We're going to see a couple more hoofstock, or four-legged herbivores, before we get our first opportunity to see the giraffe. But we have one male ostrich in this section. We have 4 females and 1 male. All of the females are going to be a light brown color, and the male is a darker black color. So keep an eye out for him because he has 2 very important things that he's been taking care of for the last couple of months. On our right, we have our male mixed herd of fallow deer. On our left, we have our ellipsis waterbuck. Over here on our right, you might notice that some of our fallow deer have a darker color to them.
Now look at these animals.
They still have those light spots, but they're a lot harder to see. These guys are melanistic, meaning they overproduce melanin compared to all of the other pigments in their body. This basically does nothing except for change for the color they are. But that's the opposite of being leucistic, not being able to produce melanin. We also have a couple of babies and a few females in this herd as well.
Oh, there's a hawk back there. Vulture.
We also have one turkey vulture that's hanging out here. He was also hanging out here the day before yesterday, and I was kind of concerned. I was like, man, I hope nobody's going to croak on us. You never know what's going to happen. Here on our right, we get a view of one of our ostriches sitting down. They have a very funny sitting down position. It's not quite exactly sitting down, but if it's comfortable for them, that's okay, I guess.
There's the ostrich.
Over on our right side, we have the Visa Oryx. Those animals standing by the fence, they've got those black lines on their face. They are specifically designed to live in the savanna and the desert in Africa. They can increase their internal body temperature to 116 degrees. That is hot enough to flatline a human being. They can also go 2 to 3 weeks without water. Those black stripes over their eyes
these antelopes are kind of cool.
used to reduce the amount of glare off of their fur into their eyes. On our left, we have our number one dad right now.
There.
We have our male ostrich and his 2 diligent charges, his 2 kids. These 2 baby ostriches are about 2 months old now. They can beat all of us in a foot race. I can almost guarantee an adult ostrich can run around 43 miles an hour. These guys are already very fast. Earlier this morning, Dad was slacking off a little bit. He was having a dust bath and then noticed his kids had run away, so he was hooking it across. And his kids were running away from him. I'm sure we've all been there.
More antelopes back there.
Yep. These guys are really powerful. They're going to keep this baby coloration for a while. The reason they're colored like that is that it makes them easier to blend in with their surroundings. It's the same reason that the female ostrich are that light brown.
There's a baby ostrich.
Male and female ostriches will actually swap incubation times during the day and the nighttime. The female will incubate during the daytime since she's that lighter color and she's harder to see. And the male will incubate during the nighttime since he's black. Once the eggs have hatched, however, they're entirely up to the dad to deal with. By the fence line, we have this animal with stripes moving, and almost towards the zebra truck, we have one little guy. His tail is swishing, but he's facing away from us. These guys are the African bongo. The African bongo is called the ghosts of the forest. They are native to the forested areas of Africa. They're called this because they are so hard to find. Since this species has been documented, we have never once had a population count. Ever. They cannot be placed on the endangered species list because we have basically no population history information about them.
Here we go.
About 80 to 90% of the information that we know
animal.
about them as a species has been research done on individuals in captivity. But now,
here we go.
We're going to see everyone's favorite. Everyone's always so excited to see the giraffe. I really can't blame you guys. These guys are really cool. Yep, you guys are licking the fence again. Fence. Yeah? You heard me talking.
There's a giraffe. There's no smell.
Here you can see inside of a giraffe's mouth, they have a 12 to 18 inch long, purple, prehensile tongue. That tongue they can essentially use like an elephant trunk. Yep. Those smaller babies over there, they're also very special. They are scimitar horned oryx fawns. These guys, I'm going to talk about them a little bit later. We're very lucky to have those babies this year. Giraffe, you might notice, have these 2 points on top of their head. Those 2 points are called ossicones.
Ossicles.
Ossicones are similar to horns. They have bone on the inside, and then they have a layer of skin that grows on the outside. They're still used as weapons, however. They're just a little bit more sensitive. Did you eat that rock? Spit that rock out of your mouth, man. Very good. All sorts of things with that tongue. Alright, here on our right, we have some more of our scimitar horned oryx. This is a very important animal here in the safari. In the year 2000, these guys were completely extinct in the wild. Thankfully, we still had some captive populations, so in 2016, a reintroduction effort was started. 25 individuals were released into the wild for captive bred populations, and with careful monitoring, as well as adding some more individuals for genetic diversity, their population is now between 500 and 600 individuals in the wild. Over here on our left, we have our Watusi cattle. These guys are also called the Ankoli cattle. We have one calf that's really small. He's towards the middle. As we pull forward, you might be able to see him.
Look at these cattle.
He's peeking his little head out. There's one calf. He's almost a month old now. But these guys, this breed of cattle has been developed by the Tutsi people in southern Africa. They are selectively bred for their giant horns. Despite their size, those horns are actually pretty light. They're hollow on the inside. They have a thin layer of blood vessels running along the inside of their horns, and they're able to use these horns as heat dissipators. Cows cannot sweat, so in order to cool down, they have to come up with funky little methods. So they pump blood into their horns and allow them to cool down before pumping that blood back into their body. But here on our right,
That is
we're going to see the Great Savannah Sunset Resort. This is a fairly new addition. They built this during COVID. The coolest thing about it is if you stay here, you get the opportunity twice a day and feed our giraffes. So this giraffe feeding deck, there you again get to see the coolest part, in my opinion, of the giraffe, which is their 12 to 18 inch long purple prehensile tongue.
Here we are, Dad. Serengeti.
Inside of a giraffe's mouth, they also have no upper teeth. So when you peek in there, the top of their mouth is all black. They have a black pad of skin that they chew into. And not having upper teeth isn't too bad for these guys because they largely eat only the softest and newest leaves on the very tops of trees. So they don't need a whole lot of teeth to be able to eat those. We're entering our grasslands. We'll have to see who is hanging out towards the front. Doesn't look like a whole lot. We'll keep going in. Blackbuck are named after the adult males of their species. There's going to be one really close to the truck here. This is our best example of one. Blackbuck turn this black color as they get older. He's one of the only ones that has that coloration. Most of them have a light charcoal coloring in that. But the majority of the ones we're going to see are that layer fawn color. These guys are black wildebeest. Black wildebeest are an endangered species. There are so few of them in the wild that they're having a hard time finding each other. They've been found to largely hybridize with other species of wildebeest. And those big brown animals by the fence over there, they are my favorite animals here at the safari. They're called sable antelope. The one that's farthest to the right towards the fence, he's darker than all of the other ones. That is their dominant male. The sable antelope is the only species of antelope that will defend themselves when faced with a threat. Every other species of antelope has gotten really good at running or jumping away. These guys have an extremely muscular neck as well as a very deep shoulder, as well as those huge, beautiful black horns. And they're able to use those horns to flip an adult lion or hyena entirely over their bodies. We also have our male herd of Barbary sheep over here. They're also called the Udad. Despite their name, they're actually more closely related to mountain goats. So why they named them Barbary sheep, I have no idea. We could have changed it, but we chose not to. But as we continue on, we're going to see our first large cat species. We have 3 separate species of large cat. The first one we're going to see is the
King's Land.
In this enclosure, this is our mixed pride. I believe we have 2 females and then maybe 5 males in here, but that is not your typical pride structure.
I don't see them. Lions.
Normally, a pride of lions will consist of 1, maybe 2 adult males, and then the rest of the pride will be male and female cubs, as well as adult and juvenile females. There is also a separate, a different kind of pride that can also exist called bachelor prides. Bachelor prides, as it sounds like, is entirely adult males.
Okay.
An adult male lion is anywhere between 20 and 22 hours out of the day. An adult female lion, a little bit less, 15 to 18 hours out of the day. The reason why these boys can get away with sleeping the day away is because in your typical pride structure, they don't have a ton of responsibilities. Their two jobs in life are to father as many baby lions as they can and occasionally chase off other male lions from their pride. A lot of male lions don't even have to do that because they don't have a pride. They live either by themselves or with a bunch of males, so they don't.
I'm also seeing Madagascar and the Lion King.
The ones that live with a pride are living with the lioness, the female of their species, as their crocodile. The female lions do all of the hunting, they do all of the territory control, and they do all of the child rearing.
Here come the lions.
Even though it is technically up to the male lion to deal with any conflicts with other male lions, the lionesses are actually the first ones to know if there is a conflict, because they're the ones actually doing the patrol.
Seen that?
Male lions in the wild also don't hunt, period.
Well, there's
no exception to this. When they're living by themselves or in a bachelor pride, they will declare stealing food from other predators and occasionally scavenging for carcasses in the wild. Lions compared to other large cats, have proportionally very small hearts, making them very poor endurance runners. Because of that, females have largely adapted to hunting during the nighttime and by an ambush strategy. But as we continue on, we're going to be stepping out of Africa and briefly back into the Americas to see our first species of bear. These are a very well-rounded figure. The American
Black Bear Ridge. That's where we are.
We have a couple on our left, taking a load off.
Bears.
The black bear. Oh, these guys are fighting. There's two boys that are always fighting.
I recognize those
The
bears.
black
Kind of
bear
look
is
like
usually a
Yogi.
pretty shy animal. They typically will avoid conflict with any other animal. They will fight with other black bears, but that's about it.
We're at New Jersey.
They will typically choose to run away or climb a tree when faced with a foreign threat.
That sounds like Yogi Bear.
These guys, it frustrates me to no end because black bears and brown bears, the brown bears are the larger of the two cousins living in the United States, but black bears can be brown and brown bears can be black. So it's completely pointless to name them the color that they are, because they can be either color. Over here on our right, we have a mama in the far corner. She has two cubs. One of them was hiding in the very back. He's crawling around. I'm not sure where her other cub is. Where are you guys? I can see there. Yep, they're both back there. They're peeking their little heads out through the grass. This mama has been a trooper. Usually, moms only have to raise one cub a year. It's tough when you have twins or triplets. That can be very exhausting.
Well, folks, we saw the
Her older
bears.
cub is just
Look
old
like
enough to
Yogi.
stop sleeping during the nap time. They usually nap between 2:30 and 4.
There's
so
Yogi and his
everyone's up
brother
now
fighting.
because her oldest no longer wants to sleep. The boys are still fighting. If these guys were out for blood, we'd be able to hear them. I'm not super worried about them. Fighting
Sorry for
in
that,
an
folks.
enclosed area is to be expected, and for the most part, it's largely enrichment for each other. They have
I
a
guess
social
those bears are
hierarchy
doing
that is
bear fight.
enforced. He said, give me that. They spend a lot of their time eating. Black
You
bears
should have a picnic
are
basket.
opportunistic omnivores.
You should
They'll
have
eat just about
a
anything.
picnic basket.
About 20 to 40% of their diet is plants, so they eat a
Well,
lot
folks,
of
we
plants
saw
that are
my
in this
hero,
area.
Yogi Bear.
But about
at Six
20 to
Flags.
40% of their diet is high
Warner
value
Brothers.
protein. Where they're going to be getting that protein is largely
Here's my
insects,
inspiration,
fish,
Yogi.
and then prey if they're able to catch it. Typically, black bears don't go out of their way to catch prey. Sometimes they'll go and catch fish. They are largely a foraging species. But we're going to be stepping into Africa to see a couple more species. Along the fence line, we have the red lechwe. The red lechwe are a wetlands dwelling species, and their babies are all right over here. This is a normal behavior for them. They will leave their young over in one area where they're supposed to be hiding. You guys are all supposed to be hiding in the tall grass, but you guys are standing up. And they'll come back and get them later. This is the cattle do this, as well as basically all of the species we have here, except for the black one. And even then, they do it sometimes. Really do. But we also have these large animals. These are our eland. The eland is the largest species of antelope in the world. Those white stripes that they have on their back are unique to every individual.
Animals. That one is a baby giraffe running.
And then by their third birthday, they're going to start developing a twist in them. We have our one baby giraffe. You're not supposed to be on that side of the fence. You're not supposed to be able to get over there. How did you do that?
Melvin.
Not, I have been here just for the summer, but I've been lucky enough to be able to watch her get more and more confident.
We'll
as she's
head
gotten
to the
bigger.
forest of
She
the
used
brown
to only
bear.
ever hang around her herd and her mother, but in the past week, she's been exploring everywhere. She'll just stand there and give a wall-eyed stare to everything around her. But she's very funny. Yep, now she's running back to her herd. She heard me talking. But in this next area, we're going to see our brown bears. The first brown bears that we're going to see will hopefully be on our left side. Looks like we got one in the pool and one hanging out back.
Where the bears
In
at,
this
Dad?
enclosure to our left, we have a mother and her cub.
Oh,
It looks like, yep, the cub's in the back because he's playing with a stick again. And the
There's
mom is
Yogi.
taking a load off in her pool. These guys play with toys all the time. For example, his favorite piece of wood. He's tried to climb into a tree with it before. It
well,
doesn't work
folks, we
very
saw
well.
Yogi Bear's cousin
That cub is pretty big. I would guess he's around 1.5 to almost 2 years old. The first thing that you will notice about brown bears, other than their color, is probably their size. These guys are quite a bit larger than the black bears we saw earlier. Brown bears can be anywhere between 200 and 600 pounds heavier than the black bear. Males do tend to be larger than the females. And these guys have a hump on their back. It's in between their shoulders. It might be a little bit hard to tell when they're laying down.
It's a fishing bear.
But even from here, you can see there's a ridge on their back that the black bears don't have. The black bears are flat all the way across. But here you can see it especially when they're standing up. They have a hump in between their shoulders. That hump is a muscle that connects their front two paws. Other bears do have this muscle, but it is overdeveloped.
How did Yogi
grizzly bears? Because these are the only two species of bears that will be
we shouldn't have a picnic basket.
Largely hunting for prey.
Hey,
Bears do a lot more
picnic
prey hunting
basket.
than grizzly bears do, but they still get a lot of use out of it because it is a very useful muscle for swimming. Our brown bears like to be in the water a lot more than the black bears do. He's all the way in the pool. These guys are really good swimmers. They have very wide and flat paws, making them really good as paddles in the water.
What do these bears do before Yogi Bear comes on television?
Over here on our left, we have a mother and her cub. That's Mom. Where's your cub? Her
Hey
cub is a
Yogi,
little bit
where's your friend
smaller.
Boo Boo? I don't see Boo Boo here. All I see is Yogi.
He's probably hiding farther back. There's a lot of grass and greenery here, so it's kind of harder to tell.
Or he may be eating a picnic basket.
All right, let's see if we get a peek at Stanley.
Stan's house.
He's probably in his pool. That's where he was last toured. Are you in there? He's in there. He's in his pool. You can see the very top of his fuzz in the grass. He looks exactly like all of our other brown bears. He's a little bit smaller than most of the other males, but Stanley is very special here because he was born at the safari, and shortly after he was born, his mother was unable to take care of him. Because of that, he was hand-raised by our resident veterinarian, and as you might guess, our veterinarian is not a bear. So he wasn't able to perfectly reproduce the environment that his mother would have been raising him in. Unfortunately, by the time that Stanley was big enough to be reintroduced with all of the other bears, they found out that he didn't really know how to communicate with them. That's all stuff that his mom would have taught him. The social hierarchy of bears is also something that his mom would have taught him, and he missed that opportunity. So unfortunately, he was moved to that corner pen where he is much happier. But that's why it's so important that we keep our cubs with their mother for at least a year. And in case of our big baby at the beginning of the brown bear section, sometimes it takes a little longer. It really depends on the individual. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. But thankfully, we have the environment here to let them stay with each other. Over here on the right, we have our peek into our 52-acre wetland reserve here at the safari. When this land was bought to be developed into agriculture, and the safari was part of the signing agreement to keep these 52 acres as wetlands. So it's been sitting here since the 70s, doing two very important things. Number one, serving as a source of water for all of our native species that live in the area, as well as being able
We're here at checkpoint 12.
Aquatic plants there release oxygen at a lower temperature than all the other plants around us, so that area up in the park can be up to 3 degrees cooler. And now we're leaving New Jersey and stepping into Australia, where we're going to see two very special species. First one's going to be over here on our right. Take a peek out. The mom that's closest in front, she has a baby's head sticking out.
Oh, where's the kangaroo?
He's got a little baby sticking out, head sticking his head out. It's right in between her arms.
Hello, Joey.
He is still super small. I would guess that he probably hasn't been outside of the pouch yet. When a baby kangaroo is born. So this is very exciting. You guys are right to be this excited. This is only the second time I've seen it.
Emus.
Red kangaroo are named after the rusty red color that the males develop as they get older. Here we have one of our males. You can see how much bigger the males get compared to the females. And the females are going to stay that gray color for their entire lives.
Well, folks, we saw Jane Kangaroo from Dr. Seuss's Cold News of the Who.
Not including their 3-foot-long tail tail. It's almost entirely muscle. The second species we have is the emu. The emu is a really incredible bird. They have that blue skin underneath their feathers, which is super cool. And they have these red orange eyes. These species of birds have calf muscles, so their legs are
Emus everywhere.
than other birds. And these guys were very highly studied during the early development of the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park movies, because all of the movement of the velociraptors was based off of these guys.
Velociraptor. Just like in
The
Jurassic
Australians
Park.
also have lost a war against emu before. In the early 19th century, they waged war on the emu.
Here come the kangaroos we saw.
Farm loss and crop destruction. The emu would just eat all of the plants that they were growing in their farms. So they started a war against tigers. Long story short, they forfeit.
They're gonna eat me.
Because they are very fast. They can run about 35 miles an hour, and they're very hard to hit with a machine gun. We're moving north into Asia. Over here on our right, we have our Bengal tiger. She is absolutely beautiful.
What's that?
This is the best spot she's been in all day.
No, Vitalia.
You might notice she looks a little bit different than other tigers you may have seen because she has no black stripes on her. Bengal tiger are the only
Sound like
species of
Vitaly
tiger
from
that come in different
Madagascar.
color combinations. Your classic black, white, and orange. White and orange like our creamsicle. Black and white, and then entirely white. There were previously 9 different species of tiger in the world. Unfortunately, we lost 3 of them to extinction, leaving us with only 6. Of the 6, we have the Bengal tiger as well as the Siberian tiger.
What are these tigers super fun?
In this enclosure, we have 5 Siberian tigers. They are all siblings. We have 4 girls and 1 boy. They were all born in the same litter in about 2014, if I remember correctly.
They are the tiger.
These guys love to goof off. See, they're chasing each other. Wait, do not come over here.
There goes Shere Khan, or Tigress.
Over here, coming up on what's going to be on our left, we also have 3 enclosures. We see there's 1 tiger. He's hanging out inside of the building, but just enough to peek outside. As well as there are 2 individuals in each of these enclosures. These 3 all came to the safari as adults, so they are used to the typical tiger life of solitary confinement. That's how they like it. Tigers in the wild are solitary animals, meaning they live entirely by themselves. The only time a tiger will ever see another tiger is when a mother is raising her cub, when a male and female meet during the breeding season, and if 2 tigers are to happen to cross paths during territory patrol. Territory is everything to a tiger. That area has to feed them every single day, provide them a clean source of water. These animals can eat a lot, so they need a lot of space to be able to hunt the food that they want. These guys are incredible predators. They are the most successful large cat and the most dangerous large
When do
cat.
they have this?
They're incredible predators. They can jump about 30 feet. That is the entire length of this truck and then some. That's about 1 fire engine's worth. They have fur claws, just like most cats, making them really good climbers. But in between their toes, they also have a webbing that connects their toes. That makes them really good swimmers. If you are ever in the unfortunate event of being chased by a tiger, I would highly encourage you to learn how to fly. Basically anything else doesn't work very consistently. Even here at the safari, sometimes our tigers are chasing after the birds in their enclosure. They catch them sometimes, not all the
There's
time.
actually a llama back there.
But over here, we're going to be continuing into our nursery area.
Nursery?
These large brown animals. There's one of them standing up. He's got black and white stripes on his ankles. That animal is the nilgai. The nilgai is the #1 favorite food of the Siberian tiger. We have a couple of them here, but we also have our female and juvenile herd of black buck. These guys are hanging out closer to the ground, and we have our our Barbary sheep earning their place related to mountain goats. They are really good climbing. A Barbary sheep have been found to be able to maneuver their entire bodies and balance themselves on only about 4 inches of space. Very, very dexterous. They are actually also the only animal that has figured out how to get over the cattle grading in the safari. They're the only animal who can actually escape. But we also have our black buck. Here's one of our Usage creatures. He's old enough to be graduated from the rest of the boys.
I seen that.
Bothering all our ladies. Keep your eyes peeled for the babies. We have a lot of babies. They're hiding all over the place.
Oh, look at
They
these
look
little
almost
dudes.
identical to the adults. They're just shrunken down. Let's see.
Kind of like the camera. It's a zoo out here, everybody. Oh, it's a stampede, baby.
You can see some of our younger males are starting to bud the tops of their horns. Okay, everyone look down on the left side. Right, the one that's grazing on the right side of her. This is our youngest baby. He was born 2 days ago.
A baby.
He is so stinking tiny.
Oh, he's so cute.
So small. He was even smaller right after he was born. These guys are tiny. That's really awesome. This is the second time I've seen him today. He's been hiding with his mom for most of the day. The black buck is actually the #1 favorite food of the African cheetah.
Right now.
We do not have cheetah here at the safari, I will tell you now.
What they got in there?
They are notoriously hard to keep in captivity. They are very anxious animals.
What they got in there? King Kong?
Oh, yeah. Cheetah can run very fast, about 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Black buck, to run away from those guys, have to be pretty fast. They can run about 54 miles
More
an hour.
black bucks. There's another
The
baby.
cheetah can only keep that top speed of 60 miles an hour for about 25 seconds, 30 seconds. So these guys only really have to outrun them for about a minute before they are guaranteed to live. The black buck can keep up that 52 mile per hour pace for over a mile.
Here comes a herd.
They're very well designed endurance runners.
Oh, it's a family of black buck.
Yeah, so, oh, there's another one of our tiny babies.
Babies.
So small.
Look at them, Dad. They look small and cute.
So small.
They can have one at the pit. Okay.
Also, we have one of our black buck that likes to hang out with our Nilgai.
Here comes this
Sometimes
dude.
when the Nilgai are in the Asian section, he will hang out with them there, but he's not technically supposed to be there. But over here on our left in this enclosure, we're going to see one of our last species of animal.
What they got in there? King Kong?
Here we are going to see the olive baboon.
There's a baboon, Dad. Here's one right there.
The olive baboon is a baboon. They have tails. These guys are highly intelligent. They're capable of working in teams. They have also fully functioning little hands. They can open Ziploc bags, water bottles,
I
all
saw
sorts
some
of stuff.
baboons. There's gonna be more right ahead.
These baboons are all of retirement age. They're past reproduction age. In the wild, baboons are extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. They chase off people.
What you guys got in there? King Kong?
All the time. Inside of
Look
their
at
little
these
mouths, they
monkeys.
have a set
They're
of
going
3
bananas for
inch incisors.
bananas.
Why they have such large teeth for such a small animal? I don't know. I wouldn't give it to them. These guys, just like the bears, are also opportunistic omnivores. So, 60-80% of their diet is plants, stuff they can easily find, but 20 to 40% of their diet is meat, high-value protein. That protein can come
over there hanging out of the
via
playground.
insects. They eat a lot of termites in the African savanna, but these guys do also eat meat. They're capable of hunting by themselves. They're very intelligent, capable of working in teams. So when they hunt, they usually work in little squads.
Well, folks.
But the last animal we're going to see is going to be coming up on our right. These guys are our yak. Yak are native to northern China, Mongolia, and the southern crest of Russia.
Here come the yaks.
These guys are typically cold weather species, but they have lived their entire lives here at the safari, so they've figured out how to deal with it. Just earlier today, they were hanging out in the stream that we have.
Hey, Bree. I saw Darius the yak from Sing 2.
Interesting position compared to a lot of other species. There are about 10,000 of them living in the wild, which is not a terribly small number, but there are literally millions of them in captivity. This is not a domesticated animal. But there are still millions kept on farms.
These all
and
baboons have
largely treated like
playground.
cattle. They're used for their milk, their meat, as
Like
well as their
most of
skin.
roller coasters.
But that just about rounds out our tour for today.
Hey!
I hope you guys had a wonderful ride around with me today. If you are interested in C4 conservation work we have here at the safari, we have been partnered with Save an Icon since 2019. Every year they make a new pin for us to sell exclusively here at our safari. This year they have the red-eyed tree frog and the Aldabra tortoise on their pin. We have have two Aldabra tortoises here at Six Flags. They're both at our base camp. Their names are Fred and Wilma. They're each about 80 years old,
Yeah,
a little bit older, which is pretty old for any animal. But these guys
Someone's throwing a party down there.
These guys can live anywhere between 150 to up to 200 years. The oldest living individual was at a zoo in the United States. He lived to 255 years old. So please check the, you have a question? The Aldabra tortoise. Yep, they are in this enclosure with a white pool. Fred is the big one. He's about 500 pounds. Wilma's a little bit smaller, 250 to 300 pounds. So check them out in there. If there are any other animals that you are excited to see, if they didn't get to see on our safari, please explore base camp. We have reptiles, amphibians, predatory birds, as well as a couple of domesticated species. All clear. But otherwise, I hope you guys had a wonderful time with me. Thank you so much for coming along with us. Watch your step as you are getting off of the trucks. Make sure you have all of your personal belongings, including your children. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
That was an awesome ride.
Of course. No problem. Thank you.
That's everybody.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Awesome ride, bro.
Thank you.
Awesome. I give him a fist bump. I give those guys a fist bump. Guys, look around here, see the animals here. Dad, wait here, wait here. I think there's some animals here. Excuse me, pardon me. Rider coming through. Tortoise. I can see him back here. Oh. Hey, Dad. I see the tortoise back here. Okay. Bruh. Hey, Dad. What are these tortoises too who play Uguay from Kung Fu Panda? What did these guys do before the movie came out way back in 2008? Huh? Their shells? My arm's fine. They got one more animal to see before we go. The cavey. Hey, Dad, you gotta see this. It's a cavey. Oh, Dad, look at this. A cavey.
Looks like a giant rabbit.
What's up, Doc? Excuse me. Right coming through. Oh. Dad, look at this.
What's this?
A pig.
Piggy pig?
It's a big pig.
Big pig. Every pig.
Okay, there are animals here. Wait, is look. Pot-bellied pig. There's a goat here. We got goats here. Billy goats. These guys look like the ones that live in the farm. And what's up, Oogway? How you doing? How's your when you return to? Well, folks, hope you joined the safari. Looks huge. This tortoise kind of looks like Oogway from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh yeah.
Well, folks, hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me about the comments below. Bye.